What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I'm Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into it. Today, Mike Waltz, the guy who sent classified information to an Atlantic reporter or writer, and on Signal, the Signal Gate all kicked off with Mike Waltz. I am not one to fret. I'm like, he should be gone. But so should Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth should be gone because he actually did worse than Mike Waltz. But you got to understand something. Like I've said before, none of the mainstream media, I don't see anybody else talking about it whatsoever. They need to be talking about it. But the reality is that Mike Waltz was caught, once again on Signal, in a meeting on Signal. I told you guys, Signal is the way they communicate behind the scenes so that you and I, who are supposed to be able to FOIA anything that they do, it could be redacted if it's classified and these things of that nature, but anything that the government does on our behalf, and that's their job to serve us, should be FOIAble, meaning Freedom of Information Act. To not do that, I've told you guys many times, and people who listen and maybe scroll through, you got to go look at Mika Meadowcroft. That person, during Project 2025, he helped write it, along with Russ Vogt, literally said that they were going to be on a back channel so that they would not have to give information to the public or to media. So they would get their marching orders via another source. They can't get it through email or it's FOIAble. These are his exact words, not mine. His exact words. It's on tape. They were undercover and caught them saying this. And for some reason, in the media still, they're literally saying, this is Signal Gate, look at Mike Waltz, he's doing it again. And while they're talking about that, on this, I can't read it. It's literally conversations with some of the same people. And it is not about, it's about government stuff. But it's not about war. But it's still government stuff. These conversations should be emails. These conversations need to be on government documentation so that we know what they're talking about. They are using this illegally. And people on the news is like, yeah, there's some conversations going on, this Signal Gate. And like, dude, it's not just him. Look at all the people that are on it. It's like they don't even click. They be like, oh, everybody else is on it. So it's not just Mike Waltz, right? Right. And Mike Waltz got fired for a hot second. Then all of a sudden he got promoted. Right? Now he's a UN ambassador. Going to be going to New York now. If I was him, I'd be excited I got away from them. Because I ain't got to deal with them on a 24/7 basis. I ain't got to go into that room and kiss Donald Trump's left nut. I ain't got to do that. I can be in my own little space, just doing my thing and away from the nonsense. Even though you're still supporting that nonsense, you're supporting it from a distance. It's like having a long distance relationship with somebody you can't stand, but something's beneficial. So now I'm away from it. Every once in a while, I got to tap in. That's what that relationship's like now. But still, Pete Hegseth was worse. This man gave confidential information to his wife, to his personal lawyer, and to his friends. That's all they found out so far. Each time they found out more. It was to his wife. Then it was to his personal lawyer. And then they find a little bit later, it's to his personal friends. And it's all coming out. And as it's coming out, they're giving employees lie detector tests to find out who's the leaker. And they're firing, as Pete Hegseth did, his best friends that he brought into the place because they saw this man treating this like it was a brothel, just coming in and doing whatever the hell he want to do, drinking alcohol, not doing his job, messing up his job, handing everything to his wife. I mean, this information is handed into his wife's hands. You think any classified information this man learns at work, he's not at home in the bed telling her exactly what's going down? Come on. He's literally putting it on signal. It's insane. How you doing, Lynn? Got promoted for messing up, Lynn. Crazy. How do you get promoted for messing up? That's the merit these people have. That's the merit. And here it is. He gets let go, right? And then his assistant, Alex Wong, he gets let go. Of course, they don't know what's going to happen to him. He may be fired altogether because they don't know if he's going to work with his boss, well, his ex-boss, Mike Waltz. But what's even crazier about that, this is why I say these people no longer, they're a cult for one, but they're sexist, they're racist, they're xenophobic to those who are not in their MAGA group, right? This whole thing, if you didn't realize that the National Security, the NSC, about like a month or so ago, Laura Loomer comes in contact with Donald Trump, tells him a few things, and next thing you know, some assistants are fired in national security. This is some little crackhead chick that's got a podcast. Used to be heavy, went through a bunch of surgery and came out plastic. And she's got the president's ear. This man's listening to somebody with no education whatsoever in politics, other than just being some political analyst like what we're doing here, a commentator rather, not analyst, a commentator about politics. She's making decisions in our government because Sir Dipshit don't know what he's doing, and he just want to trust anybody that kisses his ass. It's like, dude, why don't you trust somebody who knows what the hell they're doing? That's why you know this is a cult. Laura Loomer. Go back to this. Laura Loomer was validated by Donald Trump. Validated. First, we're going to hear some stuff that Laura Loomer says, right? I want to see what Laura Loomer has to say, the type of stuff that this woman would talk about, and how Donald Trump, transition over here, gave this woman the opportunity to literally be responsible for people losing their jobs. And not only that, the man said she wanted to request him to hire people. And he said, sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. But just listen to this woman speak and tell me, would you take any advice from her?
Truly believe that the people who engaged in the coup against Donald Trump and have caused, civil unrest and chaos
in the coup against Donald Trump. She's talking about him literally being charged for his crimes and not just letting him go. That's a coup. But the actual coup of January 6th, they think that's a patriot. They let the criminals go free. The ones who have harmed people, tried to kill people, they're back out on the street. The people who tried to put a criminal behind bars, that being Donald Trump, they want them in jail, or even worse compared to her.
Chaos in our country for the last 7 years through Crossfire Hurricane, and also through these what I believe are illegal witch hunts against the president of the United States right now, unconstitutional witch hunts against Donald Trump. They are treasonous. They are traitors. They should get the death penalty when they are jailed in the next Trump administration.
This lady wants to jail people who try to put a criminal behind bars. You have to understand something. You have to have evidence to prove the things in which they proved against Donald Trump. They had evidence. It was 12 jurors that made the decision. Trump presented his case with his crackpot legal team, and the other Letitia James put on hers with her team. And she won. All these other cases, they had thrown out because he became a president. Due to American citizens who did not vote and those who voted for Donald Trump. That allowed a criminal to be in the White House. You know, right now, from here until eternity, America can't say shit about law and order when we've elected a criminal. Records just wiped out. We got to start from right now, the next election, about whether we believe in law and order again or we just believe in lawlessness. Because not only did you elect a criminal, they got excited about him being a criminal, and they've been doing criminal acts ever since. Everything that Donald Trump is doing is illegal. And the Republican Party is sitting back, letting him do it. Donald Trump does not have the right to do the shit that he's doing. Executive orders are not that powerful. The things that he's talking about need to go through the House and Senate. And seeing as how he has a Republican Party as a House, head of the House and the Senate, they're capitulating whatever Donald Trump says. How are you a leader when all you're doing is what Donald Trump says? That's a follower. That's a cult member. This whole party has relinquished. I think about this for a hot second, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking about there's 100 in the Senate. And we're talking about hundreds of people here, right? There are 100 or 200 something altogether. So what is it? 400 something, 500? It is hundreds of brains. Hundreds of brains. I remember how many. But hundreds of brains, and they think one brain, on their side, one brain is smarter than all of them. Let me see this real quick. I don't know why I can't remember this number. 435. I knew I was saying 435 representatives. I don't know what the split is, but it's more than 50% on one. But let's say 200 and something on the Republican side as far as the House, and then the Senate, they got their 50. So 250 or more brains. And they think one brain is smarter than all their brains combined. What does that say? It says cult to me. There is no way you put 200 or more brains together and you're going to tell me one brain is all you got amongst yours. And Donald Trump's brain doesn't even work. The man has been stupid since birth. And you let a dumbass who can trick people into stuff. I mean, everybody's got a gift in something. His is trickery and buffoonery. And that dude's got all of them. Republicans, you got to understand something. If you guys continue down this path of destroying our economy because of his idiocy, and you know, for one, you can't stand up. None of you guys got a testicle amongst you. Not one of you. You can't come together, 200 and something plus of y'all, to come up with one testicle to fight up against Sir Dipshit. And you're going to sit here and act like you should be leading this country. The moment we have another election, Americans, you can't do nothing with MAGA. I'm talking about you guys right now who didn't vote. I'm talking to you guys right now who were timid because you were worried about, the Gaza and all this stuff like that. You guys, if you vote for Jill Stein one more damn time, I swear for God, you vote for these people that don't have a chance to be anything, you putting him back into place. We told you this last time that's what you was doing, and look what happened. Do it again and see what happens. This man wants a third term. You better get your ass out there and vote. They don't have a testicle amongst them to go up against them. No testosterone in any of them to fight up against a bully. Just sitting there allowing this man to run them over. Who's going to stand up and have some kind of manhood? And the women in that side too. Who's going to stand up to this tyrant? You know he's breaking the law. How are you, the party of law and order? You guys are a part of criminals now. You're the party of criminals and disorder. There's no way in hell you guys can ever utter the words, you're part of law and order. You're part of criminality. The way you've been taking these Venezuelans out of here, a Supreme Court judge just blocked Trump, and it's only in like Texas in a small area, whatever. They're trying, the ACLU, I believe, are trying to expand it. But as of today, it is in that particular section of, I guess, Texas. It's illegal. We're not at war. The shit we've been saying the very first time, since the very beginning. We're not at war. The Alien Enemies Act of like 1700 and shit, that was only meant for us when we're at war with the country that has people here. Hence, when we was war with Japan, we had those Japanese concentration camps where we was pulling them all out because we didn't know whether they was enemies or foes. Enemies are behind or with us. Allies. We had no clue. So that's where they were separating them. That's what this shit is all about. And that's the only time it should be implemented. That's the only time it's legal for this country. And Donald Trump and the Republicans allowed him to basically claim war on criminals, on immigrants, but not a country. There is no such thing. Illegal. And that party, they knew they couldn't win legally. So they had to go down this illegal path. And they ain't talking about win the election. I'm talking about win the people over. Legally. So they had to do what they said they're going to do for the Republicans and all these people who hate, the immigrants that they've been sold down this river of lies and deception and illegalities. They know that they're breaking the law. But they're breaking it right in front of American citizens. And what American citizens doing? What are the Democrats doing? They should be trying to put them in jail. Instead, I know they got all kinds of exemptions, but nobody has exemptions from being enemies of the state. Nobody has exemptions from being traitors in the country. Nobody has exemptions from that shit. And you can't tell me these people aren't traitors when they're going against every law in the Constitution. Anybody trying to break the Constitution is a traitor to the company, to the country. You can't tell me that you're telling people that you're arresting people because they have different ideals than you, that they're out there speaking because they're from another country trying to become nationalized, and you're telling them, hey, I'm gonna put you in jail because you said something bad about me. Are you fucking kidding me? We're not in Russia. We're not in any other dictatorship. This is a free country. That's why people want to come here. And these people are trying to turn us into everything we've always did not like about other countries. What makes America great is that we have the freedom to say what the fuck we want to say. To be able to have a constitution that is for the people and by the people. It may be shaky at sometimes, but it's not like any other country where people can just snatch your ass up and take you. And now they're being able to do that. We're watching this shit happen, America. And all of the hero movies we done made and created in this damn country, where you have a hero come to save the day, you have nothing but demons out here, and nobody's trying to put them down. Nobody's out here trying to save America. These people are trying to save America from everything brown and everything that's not like them. My question to the rich Democrats, and I ain't talking about the Democrat like in a House or the Senate. I'm talking about their investors. Where the fuck are y'all at? Y'all allowing these people to do what they're doing because you have just as much money to do some of the same dirt that they're doing to get this shit overturned, to fight them with fire, and you're sitting there saying nothing. I haven't heard one word from Democratic billionaires. Mark Cuban has said something. But what are they doing? Where's their money going? Where's their money to fight this? You got Elon Musk spending $1 million here and there, 130 something million. It came up to like 200 something million he spent trying to get this shit implemented. Where are we going to get the billionaires that are going to come together and say, fuck all that. We're going to spend 200 together. We're going to do the same thing to fight against this shit. It's like all the 99% are the ones trying to figure it out. And the rich people just sitting on their hill, just sitting there, I'm just going to chill on this until this fool is out. While you got all the money in the world to do that, the rest of us going through hell. They're talking about, oh, when the food on the shelf started. I showed y'all a picture. I mean, I ain't going crazy. I showed you guys a picture of how this country right now, at this particular moment, if I can get it up, empty shelf. This ain't no futuristic shit. This shit happened like a week ago. I went to the grocery store that is at Ralph's. Other states, it's Kroger. This is Ralph's just a week ago. Empty, no meat, none. I was shopping, not an ounce of meat in there. And when I spoke to the guy, like I said, he told me that Australia isn't selling to them. And I'm saying, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I thought he was joking because he was kind of laughing, chuckling. And I had to come home to do research and say, what the hell are you talking about? We got enough meat in the United States. We're one of the good meat exporters ourselves. We got a lot of cattle here. What the fuck? So I looked at it, and sure enough, Australia is selling beef to China. They've upped their percentage of 40%. So I'm like, this dude was telling the truth. No me. So it's happening already. Ain't no when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, as soon as it's going to happen. It's already happened. The hell are you talking about? That ain't Photoshop. That's real shit. And they're making it seem like, oh, it's going to be a future thing. No. It's not. People who are, the one guy that was on social media, I think it was on TikTok where I saw this. I don't know if it was on YouTube or not. Young white dude has a farm with cattle, and he got like the Joe Biden. And this is what kills me about it before I get fully into this. He voted for Donald Trump. Joe Biden created a bill that it gave these farmers all kinds of money. Gave them loans up front, opportunities. This dude got $80,000 up front to be able to do what he needed to do to build this thing. And they were supposed to reimburse him. On top of that, I think give him $100,000 on top of that. After he reimbursed him with the 80, he was going to get another 100,000 or something to grow his farm or whatever. I don't know how all these deals work out, but it is what it is. Donald Trump comes in, canceled the damn program. $80,000 that he spent, he wasn't going to get it back. Donald Trump closed it down. This man crying and whining and shit on social media. I need this, I need that. And it's gone. And he said, I got to sell he had a picture in his car, a video, he was in his car, and behind him you can see little cattle or whatever's in the back. He's like, I got to sell those to make the payment that the $80,000 I got paid back to the bank. And those are the cows I was going to do whatever with to make the money. So now, to be able to save his farm, he got to sell the cattle in which he was going to make his profit off of. I don't know what he's going to do after that. What, he's going to store soybeans or some shit? I don't know what he's going to do. And I'm sorry, you voted for that fool. I don't care. I mean, you can't be putting yourself. It's the strangest thing when people put themselves in a bad situation. I understand we make mistakes. It ain't even that. If I'm walking down the street and, just happen to not see something and fall, I fall, break my ankle, whatever, I made a mistake. But if I walk down the street and this person say, yo, don't go off the cliff right there, you mess your ankle up. And I'll be like, please, and break my ankle. I can't complain. The dude just told me. I literally did it seconds after he told me. Everybody that is of sound fucking mind told them that Donald Trump was a dipshit the first time. And that with age, he is super dipshit now. And instead, they went with their feelings. You're making fun of grandpa, because that's who they feel he is. Their grandpa. That's who they is. He's that person that's just like my grandpa, my dad, just out there busting. No, he's not. This dude is not like anybody you know. Was anybody you knew in your lifetime born with a gold toilet? Fuck no. Quit trying to associate yourself with wealth. Compared to what he grew up with, you was broke as fuck. So quit acting like you got something in common with this dude other than his skin color. And even then, he doesn't give a damn about your skin color. About you. He gives a damn about the fact that you kiss his ass. He'll throw a white person off a cliff if it has anything to do with impeding where he wants to go. His first presidency was like that. He was firing white people left and right. Ask Scaramucci, Anthony Scaramucci. He had him in there for 11 days. And because he wouldn't bow to him, got him out. I'm a billionaire too, bro. You gonna be treating me like I'm some sycophant? And he was gone. All of these people wanted proximity to power. And once he got tired of him, he threw him away. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they got a book talking about who he really was. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. We already knew who he was. How you coming out with some discovery when you already knew that from day one when you went in? All of them did. The one who was married to the guy from 8 Mile who passed away, rest in peace. She knew he was racist when she was working with him. But because she had that close proximity to wealth and power, she was up there cooning her ass off. Candace Owens knows it. Out here trying to reclaim her blackness. It's insane. We knew, and you knew. You just wanted a meal ticket because you're mediocre. And the way to get out of that mediocre is to go over to the dark side and act like everything you hated before. If you can't win with them, join them. That's who they are. They got tired of losing as an average black person, so they went over there and became super Negro. That person who talks shit about their own people for no damn reason whatsoever other than to appease certain white people that feel inferior but need somebody that looks like me to tell them they're superior. Because otherwise it's just a pipe dream. If they keep on saying it, it don't mean nothing. As long as you can get people who are Latin, Asian, and other cultures to repeat the same bullshit, it makes them feel like what they're lying to themselves about is true. And once they get tired of them, just like any other kind of monster or evil demon, They chew them up, they spit them out, and they come running back to the people who look like them and acting like, oh, no, we know. Take your ass back over there and get it eaten up again until it's over. We don't want you back over here. The hell are you coming over here for? You ain't no benefit to us. Because the moment they say, oh, you know what? Come on back, Candace. Your ass is back over there. I still haven't found out what the hell happened to Tim Scott. I'm trying to find out. He must have went to some like hibernation, like coon hibernation or some shit. I don't know where he at. I ain't seen him do nothing. Not a damn thing. They got rid of basically the House and the Senate. You don't ever see him. Come out every once in a while. People keep telling you, give him another chance. No. Another chance. Candace Owens, and that's why I'm going at her, but all of them the same. This woman was a Democrat, or at least supported Democrat stuff at one point, was called the N-word while she was in college, had the NAACP fight for her. She won something like $30,000 or whatever. I guess that wasn't enough. It didn't last long enough. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this woman was like, black people need to do better by themselves. I'm like, what you done better? What are you doing? Next thing you know, she's got all this money and opportunities. And she got those opportunities by selling out her own people and telling white people they're right about black culture. And then, don't forget now, people be talking about getting her back. I'm like, y'all, I did a video on her. On top of what she said and did about black people, to black people, and said it to white people. You may have forgot, she voice-overed our history for racist white people to tell them about when Christopher Columbus came over here. He never stepped on North America, but yet she said he did in this video that she did. She voiced over. On top of that, she talked about how, when slavery all started, she tried to make it seem like slavery wasn't what it was. Go back and I hope it's not there anymore, but I'm pretty sure it is. This Heritage Foundation, they had them on their own little like Sesame Street for racists. Rewriting history with cartoons so your kids, and it was implemented in Florida. And the guy who implemented it doesn't have a degree to teach anybody anything. Everything he said was a complete and utter lie. The videos he made was to whitewash everything and start back over from like back in the old days, telling everybody slavery was just like a choice, so to speak. And Candace Owens was voiceovering it. And literally talking about like black people don't know their history. That's her. You can't tell me you had the wherewithal to know the real truth about our history if you read real books, that you got on with a team of racist white people to voice over the new history of America and saying it's the actual true history when there's history books in the library as of today, if they ain't gotten them out, that would tell you the absolute truth. And you would have to know the truth and then go look at that and be like, yo, this shit ain't right. She on this I'm Black Again tour. Then ask her, anybody who's going to have her on, ask her the question, what was you before? Ask her, what was the true history of black people? Right now, you're trying to be black again, Candace Owens. Please tell me, what's the true history of how slavery started? It's not that bullshit you read to children. So I would love to know. Because other than that, keep your black ass away from anybody I know with that trash that you was talking. Because ain't none of it true. None of that shit about, oh, it came over here to Tahinos. They did not. They taught people. They did not. Europeans didn't know how to bathe. They were funky as fuck. I don't know where you get this shit from. They learned it from the indigenous people. It's in fucking history books. Why in the hell do people want to change everything? Just so they can seem supreme. Just tell the truth. Everybody had good things and bad things they could do. They were talented at something. Just tell everybody the truth, what you brought to the table. Quit trying to steal other people's brilliance so that you look good. I know there's things that Europeans can be happy that they invented. Quit trying to steal everybody else's shit that they invented. That's why you think you're supreme, because you believe everything looked like you and came from you. So much so, you had to turn Jesus from brown to white. Who the hell you think you are? Jesus? Like you turn water into wine? You're going to try to turn Jesus from a brown man to a white man so that you feel important or superior. The Bible says so. I'm not making this shit up. This should let you know how much people, these racist white people, have tried to change history over time. You have the balls, the wherewithal to turn the person that you praise and call Jesus into a whole different other fucking human. And will fight to the death that that man is Jesus. When in the Bible it says, in the Bible, it literally says, the only description of Jesus, he had a foot of bronze. It's said differently, but always it's about his feet being bronze and his hair being woolen, like wool. Tell me where you saw a white, bronze-footed white person ever in your fucking life. You gonna tell me that pale dude y'all always worshiping, that dude could literally have a bronze foot? What was he, sticking his foot in bronzer? Straight hair, blue eyes, how the hell? Come on now. Quit lying to the world. Claim who you are. You're not like Jesus. You don't look like him. None whatsoever. Talking about you don't lie about your history. You want to know the true history. Well, you want to know the true history? Let's start off with the person that you always worshiping. He's brown. Now, change it in your churches. Are you not going to do that? So you mean you're going to condemn all yourselves to hell because it says do not worship any other God? I am a jealous God. Not meaning that he's jealous of you. He's just meaning that I told you not to worship anybody else but me and my God, my Father. And if you out here worshiping some blonde-haired, brown, dusty-haired, white dude touching somebody else's finger and shit, you're going to tell me that's the person that you're worshiping? Then you can never make it into heaven, because that man is not Jesus. And he says you cannot worship anybody else but me. That's a false idol. And if you continue doing it over and over and over and over and over again, that's an iniquity. An iniquity, that means you can never make it into heaven if you continue to make an iniquity. So all our ancestors who believed in that white dude being Jesus could never have gotten into heaven. Based on the Bible, not me. It ain't no man-made thing as far as I'm concerned. The Bible may be, but for me, I'm not making this shit up. It's in the Bible. That's why I'm no longer a Christian. I believe in God and a higher power, but once I found out the truth, how could I believe in somebody fake? I'll never get into heaven looking at that blonde-haired, blue-eyed man, knowing damn well it's not Jesus, but pretending he is. How can you do it? That means you have to not believe in the Bible, so how you get into heaven if you believe in this thing? You see what I'm saying? It's just, like I said, I deal with facts and reality. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat shit. I deal with facts and reality. It's a fact that that book says Jesus is brown. It's a fact that that book says that you can't get into heaven if you worship a false idol. It is a fact that that book says that if you worship anyone else, I am a jealous God. It says it in this book over and over and over and over and over again. I've been in church since I was a baby. And I've been questioning that shit since I was a baby because I got common sense. It didn't make sense. And God didn't put this in me to tell me to ignore my common sense, the free will to understand right from wrong. Didn't put it in me to just be blind to lies because man wants it so. No, he put it in me to question all but him. And I don't question him because he created all this. What I question is what man wants by giving me a book that he's telling me was written hundreds of years after his death by some man who was false. A man who could never be Jesus, who supposedly wrote something that Jesus said. Give me a break. Give me a break. That's illogical and non-factual. It can't be. But if you are going to believe in that, you have to understand you got to believe in it all. Ain't no picking and choosing. If that's what he supposedly wrote, you believe in it all. And if you do believe in it all, you can't get into heaven if you believe in a white, blonde, dirty blonde hair, blue-eyed, pale-skinned Jesus. You're going straight to hell if you believe in that dude. And I know it hurts to hear it. Like I told you, I tell straight facts. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. That Bible says it, therefore it is so. You use that book to beat everybody over the head with your Christianity, but beat yourself because you can't make it in either if you believe in that white dude. Now, you can believe in God because that's what I believe in, God, a higher power. But as far as all that other crap they wrote, I don't believe it. You can. It's fine. Love you too. Don't get me wrong. But stop judging people on that. Stop telling people you got to believe in this when you don't believe in it fully. That's a journey between you and your God. Your God ain't trying to reach me. Not the way he's reaching you. It reaches you personally. That's the way I believe. And I could be wrong. And I could be having my access to hell because I'm not believing in it. But I got common sense. I read it. It contradicts itself way too much for me to be sitting there. I'm gonna look over that one because I don't feel good about that one. But I like this one. I'm gonna look at that one. I'm standing on the word right there. Oh, that other one about doing? Nah, I ain't standing on that. It's either believing all of it or none of it, as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I ended up after my journey of finding out where my God was. He's not in that book. He created the earth. He's waiting on all of us, but he's not in that book for me. I can't find him. I find man trying to figure some shit out. That's what I see. Man making some shit up to make it real. That's what I see. Because every pastor and preacher reads it differently. It's the living word. It shouldn't be changing that much to the point where it's 1,500 religions based off of. Nah, I can't believe that. I don't believe that. And that's just my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents on it. I'm going to get off there. I know I went on a tangent, but a lot of that, it just had to get out because it bugs me that people will try and beat you over the head with something. And then when you tell them, read it. What do you mean? I already read it. Well, he's brown. Is he brown or is he white? Well, he's the one I see in church. No, he ain't. The one in church, that is not him. That's the devil. Because ain't no way in hell you're going to tell me that dude looks like the dude that they describe. And anybody, even in the Bible, it says the person who tried to pretend like he was Jesus, but really wasn't, was Lucifer. That he was an angel. He thought he was God, or he tried to play it off. Every time in the Bible you see somewhere where somebody try to pretend to be somebody else just so they can get ahead. That's exactly what that is. To be able to pretend you look like Jesus and go around the world lying to everybody. Trying to transform them into Christians based off a lie. That's scary, y'all. That's how powerful this white supremacy ideology is. They run around the world talking to brown people and black people and other people, telling them the word, this is him. And they were lying the whole damn time. None of them made it into heaven. Based on the Bible, not on me. Based on the Bible, and none of these people made it into heaven. None of my ancestors, none of yours. if they believed in that white dude as Jesus, because that was an iniquity of believing and worshiping a God that wasn't him. Waiting on him to come back, don't look nothing like him. These MAGA people, they ain't nothing but the devil reincarnated. They literally believe that Donald Trump is brought back like Jesus. They going to a special hell. That man ain't even biblical and ain't picked up a book. That man's the Satan walking on the street. And they're like, oh, he's Jesus. Like, nope. Can't tell me that. You can go to hell on that one, in the handbasket. Ain't no way in hell. No, it ain't gonna happen. But let's get back. I get off on that. But I just try to bring out the facts about things I've learned throughout my life. It's been a journey for me, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a journey for me. My kids would tell you I was a devout. I was all into the Christianity thing for a long time in the church and all that. Grew up in the church. I was a latchkey kid, so I had uncles and aunts, and I went to almost every different. I ain't gonna say every church, but I've been to a lot of them. I've been to non-denominational. I've been to Baptist, Southern Baptist, Lutheran. Bible study with Jewish and other cultures and other religions. Talked to people multiple times, had conversations with people with Buddhists to get better understand what Buddhism is, and it just confused me. But it also had some clarity to it after all the years of searching, because I was just we was watching, me and my kids, we always watch, gospel stuff. We sing gospel on the weekend amongst ourselves. They'll tell you. But as I evolved and I started reading the book and getting into the word, I started realizing, wait a minute, this don't make sense. So I had to pray to my God and say, look, I'm tired of following lies. I want the truth. And what happened to me, and I don't know what happens to anybody else, it's not like God really spoke to me, but it's like he did in a way. And it wasn't like I didn't hear any words, but in my head, what kept ringing, it said, start out with what you know is true. Start out with what you know is true. And it led me to look out the window. And I said, I know I didn't, and no man created that. I know no man created the oceans. I'm in LA. I was at the beach. I said, I know no man created that. I saw a seagull. I said, I know no man created that. That's what I know. That's why I started out with Earth. It's got to be something higher than me. I'll worship that. Thank you for the birds. Thank you for my air and oxygen. Thank you for the land I get to walk on. That's who I worship. The Creator. All this man stuff they done created over these years, that's always been a lingering question for me for years, for decades. If God really wanted his children to be this, like brothers and sisters, why did he create the division? If God don't make no mistakes, why did he create with these different religions? Because people have been killing over these religions. And in the Bible, it says God does not, like when I say it's like ugly, but it says God says basically in the 10 Commandments, it's like, thou shalt not kill. How are these people justifying killing people? That's got to be a defect in man, because otherwise you got to think it's a defect in God. And it ain't a defect in God that I believe. So it has to be man that's making this shit up. And it's man that's being able to say, I'm not going to believe in that part of the Bible. I'm not going to believe in that part. That's man. Because if you were really ordained to believe in higher power, you would think first and say, I can't go outside of what that feeling is, that connection I have with my God. Don't do anybody wrong. Tell everybody the truth, even if it hurts. Different things that you live by, a moral code that you live by. To me, that's more close to godliness than to lie to people and deceive them and harm them just so that I can get better or feel better. I'm not a saint whatsoever. Like you see me cuss, people say, oh, cussing's not close to godliness, whatever. Then I'm going to go to hell on that. But at least I'm honest with myself. And we all evolve it. But at least I'm honest with myself. I'm not going to lie to you about anything. And that, to me, that's why I say I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat and try to get people to like me. Oh, who like me because I'm a Christian or like me? No, I am who I am. I've done my research. I don't hate anybody who believes in whatever religion they believe in. That's your journey, and you deserve that. You have the free will to do so. And I don't tell people what not to believe in. I tell people my journey. Everything I said is a me thing. I don't say you have to believe the way I believe. And I don't say I don't love you or respect you for believing what you believe. I'm just saying that's my journey, and that's how I get down. But I don't like to be controlled. But I don't. But you know what? What I really have thought over the years of my life is that as I searched my journey of finding my inner being, why I'm here, is I realized something. And again, you may not believe this. I understand that, but I realized something that growing up I saw, going to these different churches and realizing what the pastor and the different sermons were and what spoke to me, what didn't. I realized those people were always looking for something, a family or something of that nature to grow with and to believe in the same things and find some kind of community and unity. And they were all different, coming together on these same beliefs, and that's fine. But I also realized, by having kids, I also realized that God was born within them, and that almost, in my life, I can't say for everybody else, but kids have this innate godliness. Now, I don't know, they may get to the terrible twos and, Satan might enter their spirit. I don't know about all that. But they have it when they're little. They have this innate godliness. They want to love and hug. They give you these certain warm, fuzzy feelings. The look in their eyes is just, they adore whatever they see. They're learning. And what I realize is that that's a pure form of love, and God is love. So they're the closest thing to godliness. And if you pay attention to kids, children, you'll realize they don't have any biases. They haven't been through these certain pains and hurts from people and things of that nature. They have that pure joy. And at the same time, they have that pureness of, they explore, but they know right from wrong. What that proved to me, observing my kids and others when they were very little, is that God put the Bible inside you. It's inside you. You have that divineness inside you as a child to know what's right and wrong. Also, to be able to explore and find no bias in anything at all. Love is love. If you love the cat, you love the dog, you love your toy, you love your friend. Even if a dog is barking at you like it wants to kill you, that baby will still try and put love into that animal or whatever. They might be scared a little bit, but they're trying to touch it again, like they're about to put the spirit on it or something. They'll touch. You be like, take it away with the dog on bite, and they just keep going after it because they don't have any filter on their love, and they don't have this no mentality. They have this yes mentality. They have this, it can be healed, it can be fixed mentality. It's not forever broken. They haven't given up on life. They have what we should always have, but have gotten beaten out of us, is that just innocent love. And they have that desire to live, to enjoy life, every moment of it. The wonderment of what a cup looks like for the first time. And if I can lift it, all those types of things, we lose that because we take life for granted. But what I realized in them is, again, like I said, it's in their spirit. They're more closer to God. And those kids, and all of us, when we were that young, we had the Bible in us. We had that thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. The 10 Commandments was in us. These kids wouldn't harm nobody if they tried. And through the ups and downs of life and how we respond to pain, revenge, and hate grows. And we lose that ability to love. Hell, it's hard for many of us to talk about getting to love, because we're always worried about the pain somebody might bring us, as opposed to the love that we're supposed to bring ourselves. We can't control what people give us back. We can only control what we give. And if we're always worried about what they're going to give us back, you can't fully love on your own. You're always worried about returning something. Like, whatever, I'm going to give it back to them. No, give of love of yourself. Show the love that you have for yourself outwardly. And if they don't receive it, then you know what? God doesn't want that person in your life. It's just that simple. Show the true you, the true love that you have as a kid. I know we don't been through some pain, some hardship, but I ask you to dig deep. Even if you have to close your eyes and remember when you were a child, as young as you can go back, and how happy you were to play with that toy that you got Christmas Day or the day after, how joyful you were to be able to go outside and climb that tree, how you thought about at school, you couldn't wait to get out of school so you can get home to play with that certain thing or to eat that certain thing that you left in the refrigerator and have that wonderment in your heart. It's still there. It's just been covered with a bunch of shit that the world keeps digging into your spirit and trying to take it away. That's when you find your inner God, your inner self. And when you start to tap into that and be able to expound on that and give it to others, that's when you start to feel like you're alive again. That's when you start to feel like you know what your purpose is. That's when you get it. It's been beaten out of you. It's been so many different types of pains and shit that's going through your life that's been taking it out of you. But you can replace it. It's up to you to replenish it. Ain't nobody gonna come in your life and put so much love in it that you start loving yourself more. Ain't a person out there gonna do that for you. I don't care if your wife or girlfriend, boyfriend, or whomever, just wonderful, keep giving you love. He or she can't fill your heart with the love that your own body is supposed to produce. They can only replenish your tank because the rest of that tank is empty. They'll give you half full, but the rest of it's empty. You got to fill your own tank. So that when other people some other people give you love, it's overflowing. It's not just full, it's overflowing. I don't know where that came from, but I follow God whenever he comes into me. But that's I don't know why I came up with this, y'all. But again, I told you, I don't know if you've been around me long enough, you'll know. God, I believe God speaks through me often, and sometimes it's a burden. Used to be when I was a kid, but other times, it may not reach you, but trust me, somebody who just heard that said hallelujah or amen. And the reason why, because I feel that way. The thing is that this is how things work through me, is that sometimes I'm weary, sometimes I'm tired, and things are going on in my life. I still got that spirit in me that gives it. And just as much as you receive it, I receive it. I didn't rehearse this. This is God in me. Every one of us has something like this. But when you speak of something of God and put into people, it's into you too. So that speech I just gave, that just came out of my spirit, trust and believe, it motivated me as I was saying it, because it was a conduit from me, from my God, my believer, to give to you. And in the same time, seeing as how it wasn't rehearsed, it was a gift to me too. So it inspired me to be a better person. I hope it helped you. That's just, again, I follow it. I follow whenever it comes out of me, no matter what I had. I had other stuff planned to say to go on with this mess that's going on in our life. But for some reason, God said to me, boy, stop being so negative. Get your butt to being who you really are. Say some things that really feel good. Not all this trash that's going on in this world, because we all got it. We all see it. We see them doing some of the craziest things out there. And I'm going to let God finish this conversation. I'm not going to go back to this negative stuff. I'm going to stay where we at because it feels better to me. We all know some things happen in the news today. But hopefully what was just said, it may have pissed some people off because I said Jesus is not who you believed. It looks like based on the Bible. But hopefully it landed on a place of, some growth. Hopefully it lets you see that I won't lie to you to make you feel better. I only tell you the truth, and what it makes you feel like, it makes you feel like. Everything I said is based off of me reading the Bible and learning from it It wasn't to throw you off track or nothing. It was just to tell you how this person you listen to feels. And I understand if you devout and, and that is your Jesus, how you want to unfollow me. Because trust me, I know, not I don't know about in this room chatting with me, but I know some people going to see this on my account and that are following me, and they're going to scurry like rats or roaches when the lights come on because they don't want to accept that truth. And from my, at least the truth of the fact of what it says in the Bible. I didn't make it up. I didn't say this because I want people to think anything other than the truth. So anyway, let me go ahead and ask some people here. I'm gonna ask some. I'm gonna talk to some people in the room before I get out of here on this thing. Let's and I feel good about leaving it like this instead of going through all this nastiness that we had, other things going on. Stand for something positive. Oh, now, facts are facts. I hear you, Lynn. You are awakened. Thank you. I appreciate it. No wonder I'm so drawn to this channel. Oh, thank you, Vera. You're a better preacher than my dad was. What's up, Woke Mike? Thanks, bro. You know what's so tripped is that I'll give you a second real quick. I usually share with my TikTok family. This is my sister. My sister's, her name was Irene. She passed away during COVID. And she was my older sister, my only sister. And that woman was such a devout Christian. She was in a different denomination, I think Episcopalian at the time, but she went through, just like I was, a latchkey kid. We went to all different churches, but she found her church home, right? And, was that way until she died. And she was one of the people that would preach to you. But the thing about it is, that woman never forced me to believe in nothing. Because like I said, throughout my life, like I said, I've been in search of like where God is for me. I lost my uncle who was like my father. This guy here was over here. His name is Luther. And we called him Uncle Boot. And I lost him when I was 18 years old. And that's when I had been going to his wife's church, and she was Jehovah's Witness. His wife was. And I went to, like I said, I've been to all different types of churches growing up. And I was trying to find God, but I couldn't find him in a lot of different places, at least for me. And I didn't find him in my sister's church. I didn't see him there for me. Not that she didn't. That's why I knew it was a journey for each of us to find our own journey. But she believed, and strong, man. She had a verse for everything. I miss her, but she had a verse for everything, y'all. But one of the kindest hearts, she helped me be the person I am today. But she did a lot with the word and research, and she listened and she helped and educate her brother. But she passed away in 2020, I believe. Yeah, around that time, before we got the vaccines. And it's just been, like I said, I give it to her of my journey and my beliefs. Not that she made me go against it. She was the reason why I start doing the research. Because once my uncle passed away, y'all, I became an atheist. I was like, fuck all this. That man meant a lot to me because he was like my father. I didn't grow up with my father. And he passed away with ALS. And my journey just detoured. And my sister kept on trying to bring me back. And I was like, nah, I ain't going back. She was trying to take me to she was trying to take me hostage, Christianity hostage. And I was like, nah, I ain't going back. He killed my uncle. I was like 18 years old. I was mad. I told you, I've been through this journey. And I was like, he killed my uncle. I don't want to talk to him. Like I said, I'm going to keep it honest with y'all. That's who I am. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna act like I was just, this person who was a Christian. I was like, no, I was learning about Christianity my entire life, but I became an atheist probably around 18. I believed in a higher power, so to speak, but I didn't believe in Christianity. I was like, I just don't have any connection, because I was like, why would he take my uncle like he did? If you know ALS, that's a horrible, horrible disease. The strongest man I ever met in my life and got to know became the weakest man before my very eyes. So weak he couldn't even breathe on his own. So that destroyed me. And that got me not to believe. Not at all. I was like, forget that. And my sister kept on trying to tug my big butt back. He's like, come on, come on. And I'm like, no, I don't want no parts of them. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, I started, like, I picked up a book after I had my kids, and I wanted to be around for my kids. So I had to get myself in better shape from when I was back then. And then I found, you know, God in them. Like I told you, when I saw my kids, I saw God in them, because they needed me 100%, not a little bit, 100%. They couldn't do things on their own. Just looking into their eyes, you saw God. It's just like, that's something special. Going from not having kids to having a kid, and you see the look in their eyes, and they're looking at you, you're their whole world, and they become yours. And that's where I started finding this divineness. I'm like, something about that, you know, I want to live for them, you know. And that's what kind of got me understanding that God is real. But I kept on, I said, okay. I called my sis up and I said, look, God is real. I know it. But I need to find him, because I can't find him. I don't know exactly. I find him in my kid. But in life, all this, you know, racism, sexism, xenophobia, the you know, against gay people, I can't find him. I can't find him. So she helped me a lot in trying to find him, and helped me with a lot of the, you know, trying to remember, you know, when I was a kid type of thing. And some of that I got from her. And that's how I started going on my journey. Everybody's different. I'm just telling you mine, because it's my show. Other than that, but that's how I got it. So my sister was a big part of me getting back. And I didn't find it like her, but I found, like I said, find out what you know to be true and go from there. And so far, I found that there is a God. I don't know about religion. I haven't found it to be true just yet. And I told you, and you know this for sure, because I started a show called Straight Facts No Chase. I can't stand people who lie to me. There's no reason. I don't care if you hurt me. Tell me the truth. And so when I started learning from different pastors and different things like that, and it just didn't seem like the truth. And so it repelled me and didn't want me to come to it, because it's like, how can I come to something that's lying to me? Once I found one lie, I was like, nope. I used to ask myself, this is one of the things I asked myself that really made me run away from it. Religion, that is, not God. I was like, would I date or allow a woman into my life that always lied to me? And the answer was a resounding no. So why would you bring in a religion that lies to you? Because you're going to live with that for the rest of your life if you believe in it. And I said, I can't. And that's when I knew for sure it wasn't for me. But whenever I see a bird flying, whenever I see the sky and the sun, I'm never lied to. Because I know for damn sure I can't create that. And it has to be a higher power that did. Now, whatever you call that higher power, that's between you and that power. I don't think it has a problem with you having a name for it, because I'm sure it probably don't even have a name. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, that's how I work with it. That's how I found my way. And I'm still finding my way. Nobody perfect. I still find my way. I'm flawed, but at least I got the fact part right. I tell the truth, and no matter what. And you know what's so tripped is that when you get married like this to the truth and facts, it hurts when you tell a lie. Like if you have to tell a lie, like something, it hurts. Like if you say something like, oh, that wasn't right, you feel weird about it, and you clear that shit right up. You know, like something in nature, like somebody say to me, hey Drew, let's go out, you know, go do something real quick. Oh man, my stomach hurting. I was like, my stomach don't hurt. What you say that for? What you say that? Stomach don't hurt? Just tell them you can't go, man, because you tired. Tell the truth. What you lied about? Like I said, I'm a work in progress, but it happens. You be sitting there, you make something up real quick. You don't want to go nowhere, but you be like, hey man, you want to head out, go get something to eat? Man, you know my head been killing me all day. Get off the phone, be sitting there, listen to loud music and shit. Like, man, you ain't no good. You ain't no good. But anyway, I don't do that. If I ain't gonna go, I'll be like, yo, man, I don't feel like going. If I'm not gonna do something, I'm like, yo, I just don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go into all the details. You know, I don't feel like it because my left toe, pinky toe hurt. You ain't got to tell them all that. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't feel like going today. Maybe we can go tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Tell the truth. It may hurt, but hey, at least it don't pain you none. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, hey, I ain't got no pains now. I'm good. Hopefully, you know, the other person can understand it, but not everybody's on this truth thing. It's a way of life. Some people may think of it as a truth diet, but you tell the truth every once in a while, but you want to get fat off lies. But it is what it is. All right, I know this show went left, but I hope it was still of value. You never know. I kind of like this kind of part of me. It makes me smile, makes me feel good, and it'll have me smiling and laughing for hours after this show. So I got a good headspace right now because all the stuff going on in the world, everybody's talking about it. I don't know. Every once in a while, you got to break down and just deal with the people in a good way. All right. Well, I'm about to get up out of here, check out some more stuff that's going on, and laugh, love, enjoy, and do me a favor. Every morning you get up, if you've never heard yourself tell yourself, you know, positive things, and it may seem crazy to some, but every morning you wake up, tell yourself whatever word that makes you feel good. I say brilliant. I say that you're brilliant every day. I believe everybody is. Everybody has their own special gifts. We're always comparing ourselves. That's why we beat it out of ourselves. Like I told you, when you're being a child, that child knew what it wanted to do. But many of us have gotten beaten out of it because we've been competing. We didn't get all the A's in school, so we didn't think we were the smartest. But the problem is that nobody ever reached out and told you that you may not be that type of smart, but you sure hell can build an engine. You sure as hell knows, you know, math as opposed to English. And if you were given more love about the things you could do well and less about the things that you weren't built for, then you wouldn't have so much negativity outweighing the positive in your life. You recognize most of the people who've been successful, whatever they're successful at, their entire lives, people have been worshiping them and saying, oh, you're good at math, or you're good at this, or you're good at that, or you're a brilliant basketball player, you're a brilliant mathematician. They've been told this their entire, you're a brilliant pianist, you're a brilliant singer, and they turn into brilliant singers because they go where energy is telling them what they're brilliant at. So if nobody's ever told you were brilliant at something, wake up and tell yourself you're brilliant. And even if you don't know what you're brilliant at, you're just brilliant. The more you tell yourself more positive, reaffirming things, the more you start to transform into that. Think about it. You sometimes will find yourself saying some negative things in your head. Sometimes maybe you're not loud. You stub your toe. Man, what the fuck was you thinking, man? How'd you miss? You're just going off on yourself. And it's like the more you're tearing yourself down, what are you saying to build yourself back up? You just let that negative linger. And while it's lingering, it's all in your spirit. And don't just say it to yourself. There's some magic. I may sound crazy now, but there's some magic in actually saying it out loud. When you hear it, you start to feel it. It's the same type of feeling that when you're in church and you hear, if you're a believer, or you read something that's positive. But I got this when I was going to church. Whenever that pastor said something that reached me by what they said, I stood up a little different. I felt like that it was talking to me. And I knew it was for me. That mess was for me. Waking up telling yourself you're brilliant every day, it may not feel right the first few times you do it. But the more repetitious it becomes, the more you'll start feeling that brilliance. And when you start to feel like you're brilliant, you start searching for those things that reaffirm that brilliance to the point where somebody else starts saying it because they see the brilliance in you. It starts with you. If you don't plant that seed of brilliance or resilience or whatever you want to call it, nobody else will recognize it because you're not exuding it. You're doubting it. Say it to yourself. Reaffirm it to yourself. Who cares what anybody else hears it or whatever? I am brilliant today. I am brilliant. I am not built like anybody else. There's only one of me. I was blessed to make it into this world. I oftentimes think, and I'm telling you, it gets to that point where it's kind of, maybe a little gross for some people, may not. But I go down to like the molecular level on this. Think about it for a hot second. You're a winner when you're born, or even when you're conceived. Think about it. Make it gross. Your dad, did his thing. And a million of y'all was swimming, trying to get to that egg. You were doing everything in the world to outlive these other cells that was trying to swim its butt to that egg. And you were the only one that made it. The only one that made it. Now, if you were a twin or a quadruplet, a bunch of y'all made it and just shared. That's one different thing. But you get my point. You made it. You did whatever you had to do. Swim and kick that one out the way. Knock that one into another tube. Hit that one. That was like crashed. You made it. Then when you got there, you were born, right? There's only one of you. Even if you're a twin, you're separate. Still only one of you. And that is a miracle until itself. You made it. You are a winner. Now, whatever was placed inside you, you knew as a child what it was, but you listened to other people about who you were. And as you start to listen to other people, nothing began to ring out, because some people had hate and jealousy, some people had doubt, and you were confused about which way you're supposed to go. The thing you wanted to do, our parents was telling us, get to the factory and get the good job, and that ain't really what you should be doing. But whatever created you, your God was drawing you to it. And at some point in our lives, it was either listen to your God that was within you, despite what others were trying to tell you, or listen to the people who knew not what that God brought you here for. Our friends and families may have loved us, but they may have loved us out of our blessing. And as long as we're breathing, that blessing is still there. You just got to tap into what your God brought you here to do. And that's when you start to find that joy, that happiness, that who I am, and that proudness and standing up tall. But I'm going to tell you right now, it starts off with you telling yourself you're brilliant in the mornings. That's where it's going to start. It's going to build inside you that brilliance is no longer a word, that brilliance is true. And then you're going to start seeking, what am I brilliant at? And as you start to do it, like I tell people, I don't give a dang if you go and start coloring book. Go back to the days. Used to love to draw, get a coloring book. Start back over. Start drawing and coloring, having a good time. After that, they might lead you to artwork. You start doing artwork, maybe a good time. Learn how to do CAD. But I do 3D. I did it. Then lead from there. And just next thing you know, you either you're having a career that you love, and no matter what age you're at, and being able to express yourself through art and waking up every day enjoying all you was created to be. These things lead to places. Each little thing that we do leads us toward a better life, but toward whatever you consider to be a better life. Some people believe being on a farm and having their own land. Not everybody wants to be the same thing. That's one thing also, is a lot of our dreams were killed because we're chasing the dreams of other people. Not everybody wants to be a billionaire. Some people just want to be left alone and have a nice life. And there's many ways to do that by doing what you love to do. And that's just, for me, that's just the truth. We can have a job or whatever, but focus on what makes you feel good. And it starts by saying, I'm brilliant every day. Take care, Demetrius. Let's say church. Y'all take it easy. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm going to leave that as it is. I want to see how many people tomorrow that told me they woke up and called and said themselves to be brilliant. I know Demetrius says resilient. Whatever it is, let me know if you said it to yourself tomorrow when I get back here. Tomorrow will be Friday. All right? You guys know, I thank you. Let me go up here and see who actually gave me Thank you, David Bickett. If you're still here, sorry I didn't get a chance to say it. Thank you. I appreciate you for supporting the show. And any, excuse me, let me go back to anybody else that would want to support the show. Let me know. It's fine. If you don't, you can always, some other time. It's good. This is how I can be reached. I'm retiring and homesteading. What I want to do. And that's awesome. Stand for something positive. Love that. Love that. You're already doing something you already love to do. Take care, Monica. Much love. I'll see you. Much love to you, Lynn. Take care. Vera as well. Oh, you're very welcome, Vera. You guys have a great night. Y'all be safe. I'm going to do some more work tonight. Always still working on the stuff I told you guys for. I haven't stopped. I'm continuing working on projects and things that help us with all this craziness that's going on. All right. Take care. Okay. Old school smooth. Take it easy, brother. Take care, Woke Mike. I see y'all when I see you. Didn't work. Magic. Take care, guys. Much love.